Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, 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 bow,
Ball out.
bow,
Ball out.
bow, bow, bow,
Ball out.
bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take 'em all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters, gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling and losers. Watch for the jackets at night, they be cruising. I can put together. AR Kinston Yetta. My hitters be tougher than leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the FN. Step in with my best friend. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out, ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside of y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. And if you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tay Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fellas to made men. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out, get called out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out, ball out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out, ball out. We about to take 'em all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take 'em all out.
Sunday Night Live edition of Boss Cowboy Sports. Everybody welcome in, get in here, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends and your family we are on, we are live, and we got a whole lot to talk about today. We got Boss Cowboy himself in the building, the man with the plan, the man running the ones and twos. Boss Cowboy, what's up? And we can't hear you, Boss Cowboy. You're muted. We can't hear you.
No, you can hear me. I was just faking. I was pretending to be lip singing.
Oh, you was? Okay, you did a great job. That's fantastic.
That was my,
Then we got Buddha in here rocking with us today on the Sunday night edition of Boss Cowboy Sports. What's up, Buddha?
What's going on, Cowboys Nation?
Hey, and they already firing it up, man. I'm talking about they out the gate with it. They out the gate with it. Like William Kill said straight out the gate. Like, listen, they don't want no pleasantries and niceties. That boy said, "What's good, gents? Thoughts on McCarthy and the Good Old Boy Network." With
Going in.
DC interviews.
Going in.
William, listen, we need to switch seats, bro, because I swear you want it. But go ahead, yeah. Well, you was saying something, Buddha. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, make sure you guys share all platforms.
Yeah,
man, hit them groups.
Hit them groups. Yeah, appreciate that, Buddha. Good call on that. And I see you, my boy Tavis in the house. He said, Buddha, I see you, fam. We gonna actually show you, man. Let's put my boy Tavis on TV. There you go. Buddha, I see you, fam. So
I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean, you looking good, man. Show a muscle or something. So yeah, then, but we gonna get right to the point because William said so. So first, obviously, we know that Mike Nolan and Jim Tomsula are gone. So we not gonna even waste no time on that, like, cause we knew that was happening. We was actually calling for that earlier. So we go get right into what Williams was talking about, where we go actually start even looking at candidates. I think that's the smart thing to do. And William talked about it. He called it the good old boy. I say, golly. He said, good old boy. Y'all got something on that?
Well, listen, the NFL is built all on friendships and kinships. So we already know that as you travel and traverse up the scales of becoming a coordinator to becoming an assistant coach to becoming a head coach, that you build relationships across the NFL. And Mike McCarthy is no different. So what he's going to do is reach out to people that he has a familiarity with. Hopefully his main priority is people that can get the job done and help raise this Cowboys defense back up to at least respectability from where they were ranked just at the bottom basement of the league last year.
Shoot, Buddha. I mean, what you got like on just even because I think you, if I remember right, talking to you about this, you pretty high on McCarthy's guys,
Yeah.
especially Joe Witt. Go ahead.
Yeah, first and foremost, so let me speak to the Cowboys Nation. Y'all killing me. Foremost, I'm speaking to you. I know it's a lot of going around here. We're picking the McCarthy's guys again, and it's not going to work. Let's chill with the negativity.
Oh,
this guy
man.
has experience. I'm aiming shots. I'm seeing a lot of
you taking shots.
The he said, she said.
So you talking to William, cause see, my boy Williams called it good old boy. So you co-signing this guy? Is that what I'm hearing, brother?
But 1 second though, Buddha, before you respond, let me ask a quick question. Let's define good old boy, because we can't adequately talk about this unless we define what good old boy actually is. What is good old boy, Boss Cowboy? I mean, how do you see it?
I mean, good old boy to me is a very negative connotation, because generally good old boy is when people are giving people positions more so almost in the spirit of nepotism. And for those who might not know, that nepotism is when you're hiring family, and sometimes those people are not the most qualified OC. So most people also see it in that definition. But I also want to give a little bit of grace, because a little bit of good old boy is not bad to me, to Buddha's point. A little bit of it, because sometimes, especially when you in an intimate relationship like football and coaches and secrets, you don't want to keep hiring people and telling them how you think. You want to kind of keep your wisdom in a small circle, because you go sometimes face the guys that you discipled. So it's sometimes more complex than what we give it thought.
Great
but
point.
At the same time, there sometimes need to be a balance between kinships and friendships, and deserving promotions, and knowing when to sometimes let your secrets get away.
Great point, Boss Cowboy. I think you really should elaborate on that. What is the benefit of keeping your circle small in terms of your wisdom, especially as it relates to being a head coach in the NFL? Because there are only 32 teams.
Right.
So it's only so many people that can hire you. And it's
Right.
only so many coaching positions, assistants, GMs, head coaches, whoever you want to say. So that's powerful, that what you said, Boss Cowboy. I want you to really elaborate on that point for the people, because I think it's a lot of nuggets of truth in that.
Okay, yeah, because I'm also trying to be fair. So, like, when you dealing with us, we go Buddha, OC, me, Geach, all the people that's in the Boss Cowboy family. We go try to be honest, and it's just being honest. It's about looking at it from all sides so that we can be unbiased in our analysis as we talk to the fans. And that's just honest. Like, it's competitive analysis when you're dealing with football. It's just not like open season. So sometimes the imperent, when I say open season, what I mean is just go hire people just because they qualified. Sometimes you got to be careful, because you can be talking to the next Belichick and you go face this guy. And you gotta weigh that in your career options, you know? So, I mean, we go get into that, because we go also talk about this more on our next show, because we making it real fancy to break down these coaches' dilemmas. But I would also say this, OC, sometimes when you're trying to analyze these guys, it's not always about even the previous record.
Great point.
Yeah, because one thing that has to be accounted for, Buddha and I was talking about this today, talent. Sometimes you can be a great coach, a great OC, but you don't have the talent. So you wasn't able to quite showcase who you are. So it helps sometimes to have a relationship with a McCarthy who maybe, worked with you through multiple talent pools, multiple draft pools. So they watched you closely develop guys that maybe came in green and then ended up, extremely mature NFL players. So it's not as black as white as some may seem, and I can see why you kind of started to show off Buddha on the, I think, wise counsel to say, man, don't just shoot him because McCarthy worked with him.
Right. It's research is everything. It's funny you mentioned Bill Belichick. I remember a story about a young Belichick that was asking Jerry Jones for a job. And that was through friendship. Hey, yo,
Right.
You look me out here, and no, but look what Belichick ended up being.
Right, the GOAT, the literal GOAT. Like, so,
Right.
and then look how many of our own guys that we compete against now. Zimmerman. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Sean Payton.
Campo.
Watching him. Yeah, keep going, OC. I know you got some more. But it
No, I'm
happens.
saying Dave Campo. Yep.
Yeah, and these guys are good.
Right.
These are guys that came under your tutelage, was under your payroll, Jerry. So that's why sometimes you want to Eberflus. Say it, preach it.
Yep.
So like it's and when you're dealing with a Mike McCarthy, you're dealing with somebody who's been around. So he knows this firsthand. He knows that sometimes you go actually fight the same guy that you're discipling. This same guy that you helped learn how to scheme against them is going to be scheming against you. And then they have the advantage of knowing you intimately. So sometimes you honestly want to keep that window small. And one thing I will say this, and I'm going to just be honest, because William, I'm going to just go all the way in with William and just say it how I was seeing it too, man. It's not what you know, but who. And William,
That's
I
life.
kind of can see the negative in it too, because we dealt with the positives. We was very heavy on the positives. I think it's some major negatives in it too. Some major negatives to where sometimes you want to get somebody else to kind of separate you from your loyalty. Because with McCarthy, from the pattern I'm seeing, Buddha, you can slap me. I'm ready to box with you on this if you want to. But it's starting to kind of toe the lines to me of the bad connotation of good old boy. So I want to first hear you kind of break down Wit and see if you can talk me off that cliff. The floor is yours.
I think this is the average buddy system. Obviously this guy has a lot of experience when it comes to, I like to say, winning. He came in 2009. He was one of the holdovers from the 2008 defensive coaching staff in Green Bay. It was only actually crossed over to 2009. 2009 they brought in Charles Woodson, and eventually Charles Woodson ended up having one of his best seasons. So
you telling me, Buddha, you a believer? You locked in?
I'm locked in because it's willing to get. I see it. I see develop. I see winning experience.
You see winning with this guy because listen, just real quick, man, because you setting yourself up to get boxed.
Winning. I mean,
this guy
he might not
went to the Falcons.
All right.
And the Falcons, you better get your gloves up. Was dead last. So I know you thought we was last. They were last. Is that his fault?
I mean, I mean, I would hate to have a resume where I worked 10 jobs
Right.
successfully, and you judge me on the last job I had. Like you just want to forget about the last 9 years.
Hold
That
on,
never
hold on.
happened.
So you telling me he got 10 years of success? Well, explain it then.
I mean, who was the teams we lost to in 2016 and
It
14
was
in the
Green
playoffs?
Bay, but that don't mean that the
Was it
whole
not?
defense was worthy, because remember when we was going into 2016, we knew we was facing a sorry D. We knew that. And in 2014.
Now, Buddha, I don't want to pick on you here. I just want to throw out a couple quick things, okay? Now, listen, where was the defensive pass coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons? He's never been a defensive coordinator in title. And also, when he was with the Green Bay Packers, he was underneath McCarthy for 11 years. Well, the last couple years, as we know, didn't go too well for McCarthy in Green Bay. So here's a question, especially on defense. So here's a question for you. Do you hire one of the guys that was the reason why you got fired from your last job?
Ooh, Buddha?
I mean, who's to say he actually had full control? He wasn't defensive coordinator with the Packers. He was a defensive back coach. That don't mean you was actually running your scheme. I mean, look at Chris Richard when he was here. He had no control.
You brought your boxing gloves today. You brought your boxing gloves.
So, Boot, I have another question.
Uh-oh. Do I need to hit this versus button? It's getting nasty in here.
Do you trust a man that's never been a defensive coordinator to take your precious defense from the basement of the NFL? I mean, you don't have to be last, but being close to last is good enough. Do you trust a guy that doesn't have the play calling and the scheme game experience to come in here and take that role? Is that smart? Should you do it?
In some situations, if you're looking at the Cowboys right now and where we stand, we have lack of something. He said, Joe Witt said, he said, my DNA is physical and effort. You want to look at our secondary this year?
Yeah,
we look at effort.
I want to look at it.
Huh?
Yeah. You said yes. I want to look at
Rob
it.
Rob Marinelli was effort and physicality too. Look where that got Rod.
I mean, I can't talk for what happened before. We talking about the here and now. You're going backwards.
Oh!
Let me just break it. But if you don't understand,
I'm talking about giving the guy a chance. Giving the guy a chance to say, listen, you my guy. I'm bringing you in. I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you a chance to run your style. Now, when it comes to experience, when it comes to development, let me say development there. We have two names that he could vouch for. Sam Shields.
All right.
Ha. Wasn't we complaining? Wasn't we complaining with Ha? Whoa, why we ain't keep Ha?
No. You going? I'm writing it down. Sam Shields.
Ha kick it. We got Trayvon Williams. We got Demarius Randall.
Yep.
Davon House. Come on, these are all pros at their time that he developed.
Yeah.
So if you want to, are we talking just now? We talking about building development with the guys we have and the guys we're going to be bringing in.
Well, first, let me answer this question. I'm going to come back to that. Boss, how do you feel about throwing money to get the best DC? Absolutely. I would. But honestly, Harry, I don't think that's going to happen. Because I'm seeing a pattern, man, and it's clear. It's a clear pattern. Just real quick, because, see, listen. Harold, stay with your boy on this. Check this out. Buddha, OC, tell me if you think I'm tripping. I wrote about this guy last year. I wrote about him last year. Guess what? This is January 9th, 2020 when I wrote this. Right?
You ahead of the game.
No, I wasn't. You know what was happening? I was seeing the tea leaves because they was leaking him then. They was talking about him last year this time. He's the one that got away. I literally said prospective new passing game coordinator Joe Witt has the same exact message as former Dallas Cowboys passing game coordinator Chris Richard. This is on my page. It said DNA being physicality and effort. You know who says that? Rashard. He says the exact same thing. And then check this, looking at this guy. Because we actually know this guy. I think it's some negatives in this though, Buddha. We go back and forth and try to reason this out. But I did research him last year. And he said one of the highlights of Joe is his independent spirit. That's what I liked about him. In his interview, I checked out a lot of his interviews. He talked about days of being sent to Ohio State to scout top cornerback prospects, Gary and Conley. Y'all remember he was a first-round graded corner. And it was Marshawn Lattimore. He went top 10. But guess what? Coach spotted. Joe spotted Denzel Ward. He was the youngster. To your point, Buddha, he got a good eye. He got a good eye. Because, see, I like that he said that when they wasn't popular. See, Denzel Ward wasn't popular yet. You know what I mean? He was the youngster at Ohio State. Lattimore and them was the vets. And he came in and said, I see those guys, and I know y'all hyping them. Who is this guy? That's exactly what he said in that interview, to your point, Buddha. But I'm still afraid, to OC's point. I'm being honest, bro. It scares me. And I know sometimes these are not these coaches' fault, but it's almost like if you go make a bet that's the closest thing to sure. Like no ifs. Like to the OC's point, you know, and that's what makes me afraid is that, yes, your defense was dead last. We coming from dead last, getting ready, and our first hire is dead last. And sometimes they don't mean it's his fault, because I know he was dealing with a rookie with AJ as the corner, which I gave a 3rd round grade to after Chase just super abused him. Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping at all. I mean, listen, I'm not against him as a coach, right? I think he's a good coach. I think he's an even better scout based upon his background, right? It's just, I can like you. I can think you're good. I can think you're a nice person. I can think you have potential. But if I'm going to have a back surgery, right?
Right.
I'm going to have the back surgery. I mean, I don't want to be your first back surgery out of medical school.
Right.
Sorry. I just don't.
No,
I don't
not
want
on
to be your
this
first
team.
project. And this is America's team. This is the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest and most exclusive and expensive brand in the world. Not in the United States, in the world. And so the stakes are super high. And because the stakes are so high, I don't quite feel comfortable doing something like that.
I don't. And Buddha, you making a hell of a point. I'm sorry to just whoop you right now and just give you this spanking. But it could be something to this guy too. I'm not ignoring that. I'm not ignoring the hell of a case that you're making. But to the OC's point, we will be taking a gamble here because this guy, I could tell he's the type of guy that has paid his dues. He is almost a clone of Chris Rashard in terms of preparation, understanding to have a culture and a philosophy. He not just coming in blind. He's coming in with a full business plan on how to lead this defense. I would say that. At the same time, you basically asking for a Kellen Moore for defense though.
Oh,
and let me add to what you said. And let me add to what you said.
You asking for a Kellen Moore, and you don't even know him. At least with Kellen Moore, we knew him. He was in the house, so people knew how smart he was. But with this guy, we all just trusted McCarthy.
You talking about the Kellen Moore you vouched for and said you want him to stay?
Yeah.
He's getting.
I mean, you tried, but you not answering my other point, which is Kellen was in house. Like, we knew him. We ate lunch with him. We ate dinner with him. We saw how he thought. We saw how he planned. We saw his anticipation with the football. We knew him super intimately. We don't really know this guy.
And listen, on a positive note for Witt, honestly, I don't think it's fair for him to let this be his first DC job, right? I
Right.
think he needs to be on as team in another market with less exposure, with a little bit less pressure. Because here's the deal: Mike McCarthy had a losing season and didn't make the playoffs. He has a 5-year contract, right? And so if anything goes sideways with this guy in the first year or two, he's going to be on a very, very short leash, which could impact his future upside in terms of climbing the coaching ladder for years to come. So for me, if I could choose a job, of course I'll take any job. But man, I don't want the highest, most heartfelt, pressured, high-profile job on my first defensive coordinator position. I don't think it bets well for him if things didn't go well.
Right. I mean, that's how I see it. But Buddha, I would say this, and then maybe, because I'm not all the way jumping off a cliff if we hire this guy. I would be basically forced to be on wait and see. You know what I mean? It would, because we dealing with like somebody in the chat said that's two negatives. We dealing with, first of all, potential nepotism, which I'm starting to think is kryptonite to Mike McCarthy. I'm serious. I think when I'm looking at the pattern of Mike McCarthy, because I'm going to add somebody else to the list. I'm going to add Jason Simmons. This is another Green Bay retread. This tweet sound almost like the other one. Panthers defensive pass game coordinator. Like, pass game coordinator.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
and you dealing
Why
with
are we-
pass game coordinators. Come on. And then,
Why?
so when I look at these guys, you know, I see a whole bunch of same old. The good thing is, with a lot of his guys, he got it right. But he got to get these holes extremely right. He got filming right. He was a retread, Buddha. He was a retread. But he got him right. I'm seeing a pattern, man, where Mike McCarthy, like, it's like, if I worked with you, I'm going to be loyal to you. That was with Mike Nolan, and that was a mistake, you know? But it worked on filming, right? We take our helmet off of that and our head off, you know? But you got a whole, this basically almost like, Dallas has become Green Bay of the South. Talk me off a cliff, Buddha.
I believe a lot of what had to do with Mike McCarthy and Mike Nolan could have been due to them circumstances. Well, no, I can't really say that because COVID ain't even really come in yet.
Yeah.
So you gonna,
Can't
I'm gonna
use that
backtrack
excuse.
on that, but
Yeah, backtrack.
yeah, I thought I had something there.
Oh, you almost did.
Yeah.
You almost had me. You almost had me. No, but
Yeah.
Let me jump in here real quick, Boss
Yeah.
Cowboy. Listen, let me just make it plain for the people and everybody listening, okay? The problem with Mike Nolan was decision making. It
What
was
you
a
mean?
decision. It was a decision to try to manipulate players that were not ready to run his scheme. And it was the death of him. It was the absolute death of him. And he tried to recover and go more so back to almost a 4-3-ish type look toward the end of the year when they had some success and won some games, but still too little, too late. It was decision making that was the death of him.
Yeah.
Now, is this the second chance? Is this a second turnaround that maybe with a month more and the guy of experience that was there when I ran that 3-4? That this might work a second time around with more all-season abilities.
Okay, then
And that's what I
let's
don't
get-
like, Buddha. I don't like this time and we go see, and like, to me,
Yeah.
in my opinion, we too close. We got too high power of an offense to be, let's gamble on my friend. Let's give my guy. But I also know this. Mike McCarthy went against this guy. You see what I'm saying? Which is kind of helping your point, meaning, I say this. One of my guys in college that I battled the hardest with was this guy named Jerry and James. Me and him literally had 4 fist fights at practice. 4 fist fights all out. He would be the first dude I would hire. To my point, Mike McCarthy went against these guys. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy, when he was preparing the offense, he was going against them. So that's also saying to a degree, especially when you look to the fact that he got away. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy wholeheartedly believes in this guy. They was talking about him last year. You know what I'm saying? So this is obviously a guy that Mike McCarthy is high over. So it's almost like me and my friend Jerry and James, even though I fought him, tried to kill him, and he tried to kill me, at the end of the day, he would be the first person I get in a foxhole with in a fight. Every time. Every time. But I still don't feel comfortable. Yep. Keep it at 100. Hey, because listen, y'all, we go through a lot of these coaches, man. Look, we can go through coach after coach after coach after coach after coach. We ready for them all. We done spent some time on this. Coach after coach is after coach. I don't think you always got to go inside. Just being honest, man. I don't think you always got to go inside. Because you know what? I want to bring up one more and get y'all thoughts on it. This dude right here. Because Fish, I got to give Fish his credit. I follow all the insiders. But I'm going to tell you this. Fish own it. He not off it. He own it. I've like been digging. Man, Fish been doing his homework on this. My boy Fish said, let's have a serious conversation about Marvin Lewis, and let's come to the realization that he and Mike McCarthy go back ways. I see where you going there, Fishy. I see where you going. Because I see the McCarthy pattern too. I see it too. He like them insiders. You know, we was looking outside. You know, we got some outside guys that we think will be good candidates. We can talk about them right now. We can flip the topic. I know OC ready to go crazy on this guy.
Man, listen, we can do whatever you want, but I want to address this boss Cowboy. I want to address Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, okay, let's go. I want to talk about Marvin Lewis.
Why? Why
what?
hire Marvin
You against
Lewis?
Marvin?
Well, no.
Whoa.
No, listen. I'm in part against him. I'm gonna explain why, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain why, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
hold on. Before you go.
Go ahead. Take your time. Take your time.
Listen, y'all. We didn't plan on whether we was gonna agree or disagree on this. We all did our own research on all these coaches. This is the first time you hearing us have back and forth on these guys. Go ahead, OC.
I think Marvin Lewis is an average coach. I don't think he's ever coached a dominant type defense. I think that even as a head coach, he was a little bit more than mediocre. And I think that, and I'm gonna get more into this later, I think you want to hire a guy with the potential to have a top 8 defense. And I don't think that Marvin Lewis theoretically and also with his experience brings that to the table. I don't think that he brings the energy. I don't think that he also brings the savvy in terms of schemes that you'll need to win against the complexities of the passing schemes of this NFL. That's what I think. That's why I think you don't hire Marvin Lewis. And I don't care about Bumquisha shaking her head. I don't care what she say. I don't care what you do. Turn around.
Man, you better stop. Okay? Bumquisha ain't do nothing to you, man. She just don't agree. You can't judge her because she don't agree
I don't
with
like
this.
Bumquisha.
Hold on real quick. Because, bro, I'm all in on Marvin, bro. I'm all in on Marvin Lewis. Listen, man. My boy Mike Fisher said, and Buddha sent me Mike Fisher YouTube video. Before he sent it to me, I was in on Marvin. Marvin is excellent on defense. See, because you started from his tenure as a head coach, OC. His tenure is way bigger than that. He also had a super tenure with the Ravens. One of the best defenses all time was under Marvin. That's why he had such a long career with Cincinnati. And so, and I'm trying to go with sure. And when I looked at his background even deeper, and I looked at where we are in terms of free agency needs, he fit like a glove. There is nobody better, in my opinion, at finding second chance opportunity corners than Marvin. Remember, you remember when Pac-Man Jones was on Joes versus Pros? Say, he was on Joes versus regular Joes versus Pros. And Marvin revived that man's career. And Newman.
But how much?
And Newman. So I got many that he's done this too. And on top of that, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go continue. I'll wait.
No, Buddha acting like he wants some. What you got?
Oh, go ahead.
It's funny the OC said about the defense, never having that defense. I mean, I'm looking at this roster from the 2015 Bengals. I see Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah.
I see Geno Atkins.
Yeah.
AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Burford. Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Adam
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
Virgil Loca. You name it.
That dude, and see, listen, I was having a real intense fellowship with my brother Douglas. All right, he got a fire podcast. So we were going back and forth the other day, right? And he was complaining about us not having no dogs. Marvin is not shy about no dogs and know how to manage them. For everybody that want another level of intensity for the Dallas Cowboys, Marvin is not scared to take a risk on somebody that's a little bit Miami-ish, for lack of better words. Right. You know what I mean? No. He'll go get you and sprinkle a couple of dogs in here and don't blink. He does it every year. And he does it with good character guys. I think he does it with a good mix. He don't overdo it, but sometimes I will knock him. That would be my knock on him. I'm not acting like he's the Lord. But see, some people listen to me, they'll say, boss, he was horrible as a head coach. We're not hiring him as a head coach. And he wasn't horrible. Man, because it's a different lift when you taking a team like the Bengals that haven't been to the playoffs since 1990, not even win. And then you have the consecutive playoffs appearances that he did. But I do think sometimes he allowed a little bit too many bad apples in the room just to be all the way balanced in it, because when you put T.O. and mix him with Ocho Cinco, that's what ran off Palmer. Palmer didn't even want to play there with those weapons. That means it was almost a little bit too wild. That's my knock on Marvin, is he can maybe let in a little bit too many hotheads, but at least I know he's willing to get some guys in here where Will McClay won't have to do personality profiles. Because Will McClay said, and I'm almost finished, OC. He said, they asked him, what did you learn while working for the Dallas Cowboys? He said, I need to do personality profiles before I bring these people in. That's sad, because then that means you more so worried about if their personality fit your coaches more than if their play fit your coaches. That bothers me. You see what I'm saying? You got some on?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that you bring up a lot of good points, and Buddha does too. Listen, I'm not saying that Marvin Lewis is a bad coach. I think that he's a safe pick. I think that he's a solid pick. I just don't believe he will be the best pick. And I'll add some more color to this. Listen, in all of his career, being a great defensive coach and putting together solid defenses, they always gave up big plays at inopportune times, and they never won the big game. In the back end of that defense, I always saw busted coverages and some defensive irresponsibility. Now, you mentioned him not being afraid to get dogs in the room. That's absolutely okay and fine. But I mean, we have Randy Gregory. I mean, we signed Alden Smith. Right. So I'm saying,
good player, but not a dog. It's different.
I'm saying the Cowboys have never been afraid to sign a risque player who had a lot of talent.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. And
they went away from that. They don't do that no
I
more.
don't see it. I don't see it. We're resigning guys that have, no offense and no judgment, but that have had run-ins with the law, that have had drug problems. We've done that, and we've done
Jerry,
that, and
not Steven.
but been very, very forgiving, right? We
In
still have
7
them on the
years,
roster
we
right
have
now.
not like we. I think totally different, bro. I think we run off the guys that got the high energy now. I think Steven don't like a certain type of guy. I think Jerry cool with it. He showed that with it wasn't Randy Gregory, the guy that's doing the UFC fight now. That was Jerry's last free agent move. After that, it's been Steven from here on, and he don't tolerate that. And to me, he don't like guys like. That's why we talked about this. Like when Chris Richard, he got real animated with Philly, and that definitely put us in the zone where it set the tone where we went out there and whooped them. And Steven made it clear, I don't want to win like that. Like, who says that? Like, I don't want to win like that.
Yeah. Everybody has, it's kind of like the coach who's never really played beyond high school.
Right.
It's always that guy that doesn't understand the nuances and the intricacies of certain things. I can give you even a personal story to help drive it home. It's like, hey, my own daughter, right? My daughter, she plays volleyball, right? And so they lost a game today, and they got to like the semifinals, and she got chewed out, right? She got completely chewed out, and she was upset about it. Right, and she said, "Well, why didn't he say anything to anybody else?" Well, listen, you're the leader on the team, so that coach is coming for you. That coach is venting, and he needs to have control with that. But he's venting frustration with you, and so you don't understand that if you haven't played on a high level. And so, unfortunately, we got certain people making decisions, and I won't name them because you just did, that hadn't played football past high school, and so the mentality and the judgment in terms of the evaluation is not all the way what it should be in terms of dogs, right? To pivot and talk more about your point, because we know even in our locker room in college, Boss Cowboy, we did and said things that would be completely not permissible in general public, right? Completely unaccepted. And you got to have an element of alpha males that are willing to take some risks. So I do agree with you on that point.
Yeah. So, and then Roy Smith, he said something that I think is a good point. He adding to my case. He said, "Boss, he spent the past 2 years at ASU with Herm Edwards. He can look at a good crop of the incoming NFL college draft potentials on defense." Absolutely. And I like his track record in terms of where we are. That's to me a safe pick. You know what I mean? Like, because if you go with the new guy, but he's not as equipped in scheming, he's a Kellen Moore, but not as good as Kellen, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I want to trust McCarthy, because you know the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He picked DiNucci. And it's the same spirit. DiNucci from my hometown. DiNucci played with my brother. That's what make me not trust some of these guys, man. Especially when you coming in and your track record not like,
Yeah, I mean,
and go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, I mean, and no offense to Rodney, we appreciate that comment, but I mean, defensively, how was ASU the past couple years? Were they like a great defense? I looked up some of their stuff previously to this, to actually 2 weeks ago. They hadn't been just a super highly ranked college defense. So I don't know. I mean, listen, he has the NFL pedigree. He has the experience. He's solid, right? Do I think he's going to stink it up and we're going to be in the same situation to be like, 28th ranked defense or 29th ranked defense? No. We'll get better underneath his tutelage, but we're just talking about the difference between a good pick and the best pick. And I think that's what we're talking about right now.
Right. That's what we're talking about, good versus best. Buddha, did you have something on that?
I agree with everything you guys have been saying, especially the point about having those hotheads perform on too much of a hothead. I don't want, you just had Jordan Lewis do some real undisciplined fine on the field. I don't want him to come up in here and get our guys so riled up that we doing stupid stuff and it's out of control. So that would be my one fear hear about him control a lot of times of that defense, and you didn't really see no penalties for it.
So let me ask y'all a question, because we got a list of guys. We go talk about some of them, just a few of them, before we get out of here. We ain't gonna leave y'all too long of a show today. But I don't think, that's why I cut off the music and say this. I honestly don't think, man, that it's gonna be an outsider. I think it's gonna be an insider to a degree. I think it's gonna be somebody that knows Mike McCarthy again, and I think it's gonna be out of those ones that he was very high on. He was obviously very high on Joe. He's also worked with Marvin Lewis. Now we can talk about it, because I see some people throwing out some, real creative ideas, man. I'm seeing a lot of stuff out here. My boy Jose, he went to where I know we ain't going. He said, I would like to see them interview Jim Leonard out of Wisconsin. We not hiring. I bet we don't now. I like how he thinking outside the box. I would love to have a think tank and just go with who would probably be some good candidates. But I don't, and I like the thought of going to go find somebody that has a system that seems to work everywhere they go. Because like Coach Bump, my coach, I invited him this week. I'm trying to see if he gonna respond. He was our coach down at the University of Houston. My best defensive coordinator by a mile. But this is the thing about Coach Bump. When I worked with him, his success followed him everywhere. And it's a couple of things I learned as I was just under the discipleship of great coaches. One of the things that I learned is you want to, as a coach, follow that person's tree as well. You with me on that, OC? You with me on that, Buddha? You want to follow that tree. Because, especially for defense, with defense, you get smarter based on the coaches you're under. You learn a different way of attack based on a whole different system.
Right.
So if your tree is limited, meaning you haven't worked for some of the best coaches, your coaching likely gonna be limited as well.
Right. And then to back you up a little bit more, man, just to emphasize for the people, is that, hey, Arizona State, the last couple of years, we talked about Marvin Lewis being at ASU last, few years. Well, in 2019, they had the 35th ranked defense in the country, total defense. In this past season, they did not rank in the top 50. So that's the latest. That's the latest body of work with Marvin Lewis coaching in college.
Right. Let's have us a small debate on that too, because Buddha made a point earlier that I know is true. Sometimes you can't judge a coach based on just 1 year of work. Sometimes. Because to me, I'm gonna speak on a couple of things. I just want to go back and forth with y'all on this.
No.
How many times, Buddha? How many times, OC, have you worked with somebody, or I'm gonna say under somebody, but you was really the one making it happen, but they got the credit?
Many times.
Many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely,
yeah.
Because I actually think that's happening with this guy. I keep hearing Quinn.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not buying it.
Oh,
I'm not buying it.
$1.
Not for $1.
When?
Not for $1.
Quinn, I'm not buying it either, OC. Listen,
Not for $1.
Because real quick, let me make this point, and then let's talk about Quinn. All right, I thought somebody was gonna fight me on that. I swore somebody was gonna fight me on that.
Not me.
I got agreement. Wow. So check this out. So when I look at this, is Marvin. Okay. So I'm gonna try to be little cute and fancy with this. Okay. So Marvin Lewis, when I pull him up and I go look at his defensive standings. Okay. Pull it up real quick. 1 second. All right. So So when I look at my boy Marvin, I'm having trouble with this. Forget it. All right, let's go back to the screen. Well, I'm gonna just tell you without showing you. See, because we want to show you. I don't want to tell you. I want to prove it. The next time I prove it, I have my system working better. But this is the thing about Marvin that I loved. Marvin built top 5 defenses multiple times. Now, sometimes it wasn't him though. Because when I was doing my research, you know who people was giving credit to for those building of those defenses?
Ozzie Newsome.
And Zimmerman. And with the Bengals.
Oh, with the Bengals, okay. I thought you were talking about the Ravens.
Now, with the Ravens, he was calling the defense, which was still impressive. But
he wasn't drafting the players. Ozzie Newsome,
so
the great Ozzie Newsome, was drafting those players, man.
So
it's tough, boss. And not to cut you off, but to say this
tough.
real quick. Look, if you tell me the Baltimore Ravens from the late 90s to the early 2000s, and then you use that as a proving block to say this is a great defensive coordinator, I'm going to take a double take at you because I know type of players that were there during that time.
Yeah.
You had Hall of Fame players, man. You had Ray Lewis.
But as a defensive coordinator, he ain't had no input into that.
He had plenty of input, but listen, Pete Carroll said this, current coach with the Seattle Seahawks. He said schemes are overrated, players win games. That was his statement. So he said, I got to have the tools to win the game, right? I got to have the pieces to win the game. And then winning the game becomes much easier if I have the pieces. Now, if I don't have the pieces, or quite all the pieces, then my IQ and how I strategize, scheme, and place the parts, it comes into play.
And see, Danny Mullinex asked a great question. He said, what you guys think? But I think we need to go back to a 4-3, and I agree. And Jerry and Steven agree with you.
You stole my point, Danny. That's what I want to talk about.
They agree with you. Like, and we was gonna get into that. We gonna get into that heavier a little bit later. Also, my boy Kenan Roy had a great point. He said we don't have a Newsome. I think we do, but not quite.
Newsome is a legend.
We pretty good. I mean, Newsome is A++. We A+, you know. But we on the way to A++. But at the same time, good point. But one thing I can say for sure that's behind Marvin that you can give Marvin credit for, he will take a risky player. And that's something we don't do. And I think that's something we need to do more. But let's go back real quick. I want to talk about Quinn. If y'all don't mind, y'all want to talk about Quinn real quick?
Let's talk about Quinn. Let's talk about Quinn.
Go ahead,
Boodoo.
Violation, bro.
Violation.
You're not on Quinn. Are you serious?
I'm not on Quinn, bro. No.
Are you? So.
No.
Guy, I understand. I know what you're going to hit me with. So I'm going to make those points anyway.
Okay.
2013, 14, 15, you sustained the #1 defense in Seattle. 2013, Seahawks led the league in fewest points allowed and takeaways. It carried over to 2014. The same Don Quinn who took that Atlanta Falcons, even though they folded, but the Falcons all the way to the bowl.
Right.
I mean, if you want to talk about experience and capability, I don't see how he's not your top 5.
I mean, OC gonna
top
beat
3.
you up. I know I can beat you up easy on that weak case you
go.
made, but OC got you. Go ahead and talk about OC.
I mean, listen, man. If you look at the defense, man, his last couple years in Atlanta, they were ranked 22nd, man.
And
22nd ranked defense. Yeah, that's near the bottom of the NFL. Okay,
yeah,
so like, don't give me. Yeah, and I'm being nice. Okay, I'm giving a generality not to come too hard, Buddha, right? Because I like you and you're
beat
my
him
man,
up.
right? So look, Buddha, look. His winning percentage is around 50%, man. I mean, come on, man. I mean, listen.
It's so clear. Go ahead, OC.
I'm done. I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah, let me take it again. Man, it's so clear that I ain't gonna say it's clear, but I'm gonna say this. This is my suspicion. I've been that guy that done the work, right? I had a manager. He made manager of the year. I made a trip to Hawaii. He made a trip to Hawaii. He took 3 months off as my manager. Literally, he was on vacation a quarter of the year and was manager of the year. I didn't take a day off, and I was national rookie of the year. Who drove that? I did. My point, the Legion of Boom and all that defensive success, you could have coached that team, Buddha. Buddha, you could have coached that team. Come on, man. That was one of the all-time most talented teams ever. Like, ever. And then just go look at, listen, because if I could pull it up, I was ready to pull it up today. I just can't pull it up. My system tripping. But I'm going to tell you, I already researched this. He ain't even ever came close to that again. Ever.
And then also, Buddha, just to say one quick thing. I mean, look, I understand, like, and this, and guys, look, for the audience, look, this is the ebb and flow of looking at somebody's record. And I saw your comment, Robert. Thank you, appreciate that. But listen, listen, here's the deal. You can't fully judge somebody on record alone, right? And then you can't fully judge them on the players they have along, right? It has to be a mix and a combination of the two. And here's the deal, man. That's when Pete Carroll said, hey, scheme's overrated. Players win games during that time window of the Legion of Boom. And listen, even Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, all-time Seattle Seahawks greats, they came out and they said, well, we really don't do anything complicated. I mean, I don't care who you are. Even when they got to the Super Bowl, they said, look, we don't do nothing complicated. We run a 4-3 cover 2.
That team ran itself, man. That team ran itself.
Right. We run a 4-3 cover 2. So either we may bump and run you, or we may play off.
Man,
but other than that,
I would
changes.
hate Quinn. Listen, because I'm looking at some of the comments. I think y'all too nice. Look, man, y'all being too nice. He said he's a better DC than a head coach. See,
the thing,
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying
separate the two.
Because see,
I don't
this
separate
is the thing. And how can you be the head coach and you the final sign off on a lot of stuff when you the head coach? You and the owner and the GM, it's them three. But you don't have as many barriers to decisions when you the head coach. So this the difference between him and Marvin Lewis, if you ask me. When Marvin Lewis lost in the playoffs, his offense let him down. Andy Dalton in the playoffs had 1 touchdown to 6 interceptions. That's an epic letdown. Epic. All right? But when you look at Atlanta, what has let Atlanta down? It wasn't the offense. It was comebacks. You the head coach. You the final sign off. This is where you put your stamp, and it's been like that for years. But going back to OC's point, because we just trying to figure out who is actually the smartest for us, right? When I look at Tomlin, his defense struggled for some years. To the OC's point, he got us some players. You saw a rebound. Now they getting spanked right now. They getting humbled.
They still getting spanked.
They getting humbled. But that defense improved with some players. But he hit a bump. Tomlin hit a bump. They was known for defense, had a defensive drop-off, invested back into the defense. You saw to also return to great defense with Pitt. Am I tripping? I never saw a return to great D with Quinn in Atlanta. Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. And here's the deal. I mean, you make a great point for balance. This ebbs and flows, right? So every year is not going to be like your best year as a D coordinator, right?
True.
And that's why we've been talking a lot about looking over the span of their career, right? Because that's how we try to judge you. It's like on your complete body of work. But the problem with Quinn, even though he had a $150 million quarterback and he had a good offensive line, he had a good running back, he had some good defensive line pieces, right? Has some good pass rushers, has some good athletes, man. It's like if you're a baker and you're not good at making cakes anymore, I mean, can you say you're still a good baker?
No.
I mean, I don't know. Like, baking cakes is a major part of being a baker, right? I guess you can bake cookies, but if you can't bake a cake anymore, then where do we go from here?
Yeah, my boy Lemuel said, get a Raven defense positions coach, make him a DC. I'm scared, man. I don't want to do the Texans type of hiring because that's what they do in New England. They even call the Texans the New England of the South, which is so insulting. Why would we want to be Boston? I'm sorry. I'm a Southerner. Why would?
Yeah.
But
What
that's
that
the
mean?
Texans way. Well, no, what that mean is the Texans always hiring the Texans the New England's retread. Bill O'Brien was a New England retread. You know, they also got one of their receivers made him a coach. Their special teams guy was a coach. This new GM is from New England. Like, to me, I want to do deeper analysis into these guys other than just where they came from. Because a lot of owners do that, which is to me lazy. You trying to basically get the secret sauce by bringing one of the cooks into your house. But see, what you don't know is Belichick is a genius. He got one person working on the icing that doesn't see the other side where somebody else is working on the cake. So he keep everybody dumb. So knowing they go get away one day because he know everybody trying to steal his coaches. So he deliberately keeps everybody an expert only at their position. Nobody's gonna know the full original herbs and spices recipe or the Coca-Cola formula from New England. Nobody. That's why most of the coaches, when they go away, are bad. So, like, I don't believe in go hire a coach from this place. No, that coach still got to make his own weight, his own merit. The only person that I would I promise you, tell me if I'm tripping, Buddha, tell me if I'm tripping, OC. I would go get Belichick's son, and I would pay him a boatload because I guarantee he know the most.
That's true.
I would go
That's
get
true.
it. I would go get it. And plus, he coached the secondary. That's the most consistent part of New England. For years, nobody rotate secondary players in and out successfully, and they ball better than New England.
That's true.
Nobody. So if it would be any coach, I would be like, where I would go outside, I would be like, Belichick, you holding your son hostage, I'm finna pay him triple. Come over here. Come to Dallas. Go to Dallas. Cause that's who gonna know the secret sauce. That's who got the dinner table secrets. Just like Stephen Jones, and you could tell obviously his son, Stephen Jr., I think that's his name. They grooming him. It's obvious. So,
Well, you know, at the end of the day, boom, check it. You know what I'm saying?
boom, check it.
I'm around with you, Quinn. Straight up.
What? Oh, you just go ride with Quinn. Man,
Ride with
You go.
how you gonna just
You
ride with? I'll just ride with you. We gave you this whole case and beat that whole thing down.
Nah. It was legit. It was.
See, you the type that'll get us like a whole nother Mike Nolan, because you sounded like Mike McCarthy right now. I ride with you, Mike Nolan. You gave me the job, so I got to give you the job. See, you good old boy. I see what time it is with you, man. I see exactly what time it is. It's not what you know, it's who you know with Buddha. That's what's going on with Buddha. Buddha, this is you right here, man. This is you. You are basically Mike McCarthy all over again. That's what you, man. It's all about the friendships and kinships with you. I'm riding with you. Man, don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that.
I'm just saying, man.
You just said
We gotta watch our back out here. Gotta watch our back in the east.
All right, listen. I could tell. I'm gonna talk about one more coach. Now, remember, we gonna be talking about this until we get this done. Okay. A little bit. We got a lot we go talk about. But right now, the hot button that need to be corrected is coaches. So, like I say, we got the best coaches. We got a lot of options that we're prepared to talk about. Now, the one thing that I think both of y'all got some sauce with, because I kind of saw a little bit of I saw what y'all was cooking. What's y'all thoughts on bowls? Because my thought, and this is also why I had a problem with Marvin. These new defensive coaches, to me, don't strike no fear. That's what I get with Bowles. I see the intelligence, I see the coaching, but I don't really see, from an outside looking in, the type of personality that you would rally behind, like a Chris Richard. Like Chris Richard got that personality that make you want to fight. I don't really see that. That would be my knock on him. But what would y'all say about Bowles?
Go ahead, Buddha. You can go first.
Yeah. Just to feedback on what you said. But sometimes you don't always see it. You know, sometimes it might be something that might be triggering in the locker rooms, in the classrooms, to where that beast or that personality come out.
Right.
But so far as how his players react to him on the field, sometimes it seems like you don't even have to. But go ahead, Austin.
Yeah,
You know?
good point.
I think that Todd Boyles is he's in my top 3. Okay, let the cat out of the bag on that one. He's in my top 3, and I'll just give you a couple reasons why. This guy has done a fantastic job schematically wherever you've seen him go. At Tampa Bay, I mean, these guys are running to the football, these guys are tackling, and these guys are overall solid on the run game. Okay, and so that's a key point that I'm looking at and so I'm giving you some more fodder here. Any defensive coordinator that will be in my top 3, they're going to be solid schematically, and they're going to be pretty good against the run game, and they're going to be able to stop you on 3rd and 4th and short, which we weren't able to do. And you can predict the effectiveness of your pass rush if you have talent by how well you can play the run. And so I think that IQ-wise, I think he has it. I think in terms of fundamentals, he has it. And I also think that there's different ways to lead. Some of us are more rah-rah people, right? Some of us are more get in my face, spit in my face, tell me what to do. Some of us are teach me what to do, coach. I need to understand the game. So there's different ways. There's different ways to lead different people. So there you go.
Got you.
Can I ask what's his situation? What's his situation right now in Tampa?
I think he interviewing. Obviously, they still in the playoffs. And then Douglas like him. He said that he's a good DC. Bowles will bring an attitude. But I really like what Marcus said. I want to kind of take this question real quick. And then we'll go back to Bowles. He said, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but does the fact that they retained 5 position coaches not scare you that they definitely go? Nope. I actually like it. I think what he's talking about is we let Mike go, and we let obviously the defensive line coach go, but we kept everybody else, and we waiting to see what this new defensive coordinator is going to think. That's also why I think he's looking at a lot of Green Bay guys, because if you bring in a Green Bay guy, they gonna know those guys.
Yeah.
Which very well may happen based on that. And that's a great comment, Marcus. That's an excellent comment. Very well may, because these guys could easily fit in and just go right along with whoever the new DC that Mike McCarthy already knows, that already coached with him at Green Bay. So that's very, very viable and possible. However, if it's a new person that we're talking about, then all of them are up for evaluation, which is also a really, really good thing, right? Because you're going to keep the best of the best, and then that defensive coordinator is going to eliminate the rest of them.
Yeah, Marcus also has a fire podcast as well. Y'all make sure y'all follow him. Put y'all shows in the chat. But yeah, real quick, very good question, Marcus. So I like it. I think it's a good thing because I'm always afraid when you do too much cutting. I felt like we did too much cutting last year. I felt like we trimmed away some meat when we was trying to trim away fat. I didn't think it was good to go away from coaches that's proven, like Rod Marinelli. Like, no, I wouldn't want Rod as my D coordinator, but yes, I would absolutely want Rod as my defensive line coach. If he would come back right now, I would take him right now. Right now. That's another reason. Because see, and I also looked at when I looked at Todd Bowles, one downside to Todd Bowles, which I think is going to make him not a fit, is he coaching a 3-4 defense in 2020. And I think we going away from that. Now I do like his pedigree, but he's also he's also more hybrid. He's a hybrid guy as well.
Yes.
He's a
That's
very
great
good
point.
hybrid guy because
Correct.
because Mike Nolan lied to us. He said, we're not going to, he laughing. We're not going to make our coaches fit our scheme. We're going to make our scheme fit our players or something like that. Y'all know what he said.
Right. Yeah.
But Bowles actually does that. He does that. Like, he really will change to a real 4-3 for the whole game because it's about matchups to him. Like, I researched him too. I like his philosophies as a defensive coordinator. And you're right, OC. They play good for him, except in the secondary. But I like the front seven. They rock every time.
Yep.
And that's where we got our nose beat in.
And he's a high IQ guy, you know. And like I said, I have a few other candidates, and I know we'll get more into this later. But look, I mean, the dude, he's a high IQ guy, and I love coaches that are adaptable based upon scheme and personnel. And that's going to make the difference in this NFL because every week you face different teams that have different strengths and weaknesses. So, is your defensive coordinator going to say, "Hey, this is what we run, and we're going to run it"? Well, if you do that in today's NFL, you're going to get your butt beat. Are you smart enough to adapt and to make changes and to change your front, to change your scheme, to be successful versus the team you're going to play? And speaking of the Patriots, that's what the Patriots have done over the last 10, 11 years, well, besides this year, better than any other team in the NFL, is that they changed completely what they did to basically beat you on a week in and week out basis. And he has that element to him, and that's what I really like about it.
Hey, man, this is a hot button. It's going to keep coming up. He said we should keep Eberflus. My boy Lemuel Richardson. Yeah, we should have kept him. And honestly, I want us to go back after him. I don't know if that's possible, but
the Cowboys have too much pride to rehire a boss Cowboy. What? You know this. They have too much pride to just rehire. They don't rehire, man.
But is he in that category though? Because he that one that got away. He not quite the one that they said no to him. He the one that they said, hey, we want you to do that cold defensive stuff that they had Rashad doing, which is really, there's no such thing as co. It's really always one D coordinator. Co is just a title. But he refused it because he was smart. He was like, no, I'm going to go where if I'm making it rain, I'm going to get the credit for it. And he went to the Colts. But I think we dropped the ball majorly. And I think it's a little bit different than their pride being in this because he walked away.
Yeah, he walked away, and that's more reasons of pride. They're not gonna go back after you, not immediate after you walked away and you turned them down. I'm just telling you the truth. You know it's the truth. Like this is okay. Look, okay, listen. This is the same reason why they're not gonna hire Wade Phillips to be the defensive coordinator. Now I know I may be jumping in here. This is the same reason why they're not hiring him to come back in here to be the defensive coordinator. Are you kidding me? It's just not happening, man. Sorry.
Oh man. Buddha, what you got on there, brother?
Agree, man. That's Jerry Jones. You walked away from me? Me?
Exactly, Buddha. Exactly.
You can't tell me.
It's called the God. It's called the God complex, man. It's called the God complex. When you reach a level of success and wealth, you get, unless you're very careful, a level of a God complex. Man, and it's like, how do you do it? How do you do and say this to me, the Almighty? Fill in the blank, whatever your name is, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's a little bit of air of that with the Cowboys. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve it based on their success, but I'm saying it is a little bit of air of that. And it's no way. I offered you an opportunity, and you spit in my face. You spit in my face. Now, I'm not being cute here. I'm not being cute, but I think we have better options. That's how it's going to be said. Now, I told you the thoughts with my first statement, but I told you what would be said in the public eye in my second statement. So, I mean, that's what it is, man.
But you know what? I could see Jerry Jones also using that to his advantage. That if you want to come back here, boy, then you gonna follow these guidelines.
He gonna call him boy.
No, boss cowboy,
Oh,
I'm not being cute here.
I'm not being cute either.
But we got some different options defensively,
Oh.
and we want to go ahead and go in a different direction. We believe that these guys will get the job done, and we're going to assemble a staff that will be second to none, and that we will be a top 10 defense again in 2021.
I think y'all underestimating how much they like him. Because my boy Marcus said the same thing. Oh, excuse me. Ooh.
Bless you.
Forgive me. Thank you. I should have hit the mute. All right. Marcus said, I think he could come back. It was a respect for Marinelli that made him leave. I agree. Bluff City Cowboys in the house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree, man. I think he is one to where the door wasn't, it's sometimes you never go back to the girls you dump, but you do give the ones that dumped you a second chance.
You do? You do?
Yo, you hit me.
Hey,
Yeah.
I found out something new about
Yeah.
you, boss Cowboy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. So the
Yeah.
women that dumped you
We
in
call
your
that
past, Marcus,
unfinished business. Yes. You definitely
women-
go back
so-
for the
so-
ones that dumped you. Yes. Revenge,
Really?
baby. Oh, yeah.
Ow,
They
guilty.
do the same to us. When you fired them back in the day and then they show up, they done had about 2 or 3 babies and they done filled out. They used to be the skinny girl. Now they want to show you, hey, I've arrived. They do it too. I do it. You married. You don't do it no more, but you've done it. I remember you. Come on now. And then Buddha, I saw your pictures in college. I know you've done it. So I ain't trying to hear none of this sanctimonious that you're trying to hit me with. That's what we all do. Come on now.
So boss Cowboy, let the people type in the chat if you go after the people that have dumped you. I'm interested to see what the people
Not
say
go
about
after,
this.
but I'm just saying, like, you
But
leave
you
the
welcome
door
them
open.
back.
So,
You
like, if
welcome them back. The people that dumped you, you welcome them back.
yeah,
If that's
you run
just
into
say
them.
yes.
Yeah,
I'll welcome you back if you dump me or something.
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I'm curious
but
what the people will say.
Now that don't mean you do it
It's
like
just-
simpish. You go do it like. Oh, you
Yeah,
wanna
with
come back?
someone.
You want to come back?
Yeah.
Okay. You go play a little bit. You go put. They'll say, so what's different about you now? I mean, you go play hard, right? You're not gonna just give it to them.
So that's
make
what
them
Buddha
work
said.
for it.
That's what Buddha just said. Underneath these criteria, that's what Buddha just was saying. And I don't think him being a DC and has an opportunity to go work for other organizations is gonna come and try to kiss up, so to speak, to fit into the criteria
think it could
to be a part of this.
No, I don't think it's gonna be a kiss up. I got another one. Hey, hold on real quick. They crazy. Look, listen to fans. I love it. I love it. Cowboy fans.
What does the
Jerry
fans
Decker
say?
say, hell no, stay out.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry got some sense, okay? Jerry got some sense. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry, you got some sense.
Sometimes man, it just depends, man. Sometimes, like, man, I'll tell
I
y'all some
like-
stories. Listen, maybe I'm petty, because I'm petty. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm petty.
Yeah,
I know it. I am. But
Okay.
we got a couple. I'm not gonna go through all of them because I want to save some for the next show. This guy keep coming up.
Who that?
Chris Richard. Yeah, my boy D.A. Lee said I'm on Eberflus. Me too. I think you can't lose with him. Because, see, going back to Eberflus real quick. Everywhere he goes, the linebackers play great. Not good, great. And if I'm trying to fix us, I don't know why, man. Balls play hard for Eberflus. I mean, her on fire everywhere. He see, like, I just get that vibe from Eberflus that he just one of them coaches that's cool, that make you want to go crazy for him. To where he just talk to you real and just, I could tell he probably one of those fly coaches that's like, hey, Marcus, you just playing like, like you scared, man. You have to go out there and let it hang, go bench. Just to the point type guy. Just no BS that make you respect him. Cause
like a peeper toe.
Go ahead.
Like a peeper toe.
Yeah, just
Like a
to
peeper
the
toe.
point. Just to the point. No hard feelings. You playing weak. We replacing you. You either go 100 with us or you gone. That's my standard. Bye. Because everywhere Eberflus goes, and I start taking linebacker for granted because of Eberflus. I thought they grown trees because of Eberflus. I really did, because even when our linebackers would get hurt, we would get a linebacker off the street and they would come in balling. And I was like, you can get a linebacker dime a dozen. Now we got top-notch, top of the shelf, top grade, first round graded linebackers, and everybody want to fire them. Like,
Now, not to throw this in if you're not ready to go on this, Boss Cowboy, but I know you're ready because you stay ready because you Boss Cowboy. I mean, you know who else has linebackers that play at an extremely high level?
Talk to me.
You know who else coaches the mess out of these linebackers and has them playing at an extremely high level?
Who?
Jack Del Rio.
Oh, Jack Del Rio. I'm ready for that. We can
Jack
go.
Del Rio.
Yeah.
Jack Del Rio.
I can
Jack
go
Del.
right into Jack Del.
Man.
Hold on.
Please.
Okay, Buddha, you think differently.
Okay.
What say ye, Buddha? What say ye?
Janet said best, what have you done for me lately? I mean, come on, bro. I don't see enough experience. I mean, I gave you experience.
Enough experience.
I gave you experience with some of the guys, and you give me Jack Del Rio? I want to hear. I want to hear
Jack
this.
Del-
Turn the music off on that.
Jack,
What?
Okay,
I just
boss,
wanna-
you
I
want to go
just wanna-
first? I'm a sick boss
gotta get
cowboy.
moving.
I'm not
gonna even do it.
co-signing him, but I'm just saying. What? I mean, you say experience?
Experience?
Winning experience.
Okay.
Winning
Excuse me.
experience?
Winning
Go through his
experience.
background or something.
I mean, look, man, you had him at the Minnesota Vikings, man. Those Minnesota Viking linebackers played fantastic, man. You had him obviously with the Carolina Panthers. If you look at 2010 through 2013, man, that defense was really good. And I'll say it because they had dogs and they had some good players there as well. Now, the last couple years in Carolina, defense wasn't as great, but you can't fully judge him based upon that because schematically he was really, really good. He just didn't have all the pieces, okay? He missed certain elemental pieces. However, even with weaker pieces, and this is the thing that I love about Jack Del Rio, even you saw this when he played in NFL, he was committed to being physical and stopping that run. And also he was committed to having some big physical dudes in the middle of that defense that got after your centers and your guards. And he always had at least one good pass rusher. He might not have had two bookends, but he always had at least one good pass rusher. And he had safeties running downhill that were physical and that were willing to tackle and cover. That's what I love about Jack Del Rio, and this is also what I like about him. Look, he's been interviewed by the Redskins, man. If we don't hire him, somebody in our division may very well hire this man. And this man brings a lot of experience to the table, a lot of expertise. He's a player's coach all the way. Reminds me of kind of like a Ken Norton linebacker, which was the linebackers coach
he's a
for
player's
Seattle.
coach. No
Right,
doubt.
players coach 100%,
Yeah.
and he can get the best out of people. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at
He
LVE,
fiery.
and I'm looking at
He fiery.
Right.
Like, and I like, as a defensive player, I like coaches who've done it.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I had a
Right.
coach named Coach Henderson. He was 40 something coaching us, and we was running sprints. We was tired, and then on our last 4 sprints, I look up and this old man is right next to me, running. I don't know. I got a second 4 wins, because I was like, he was making a point with that. I'm old. You 20, Marcus. I ain't hearing I'm tired. And then when we used to finish, he used to say, stand up! And he was tired, and he wouldn't bend down. So you know I ain't bend down. I'm like, I ain't bending down, old man. You ain't bending down, I ain't bending down. That's Jack Del Rio to me, you know. So I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm still doing my homework. I'm not gonna act like I know everything about him. JD, my boy out of Carter, he's a Carter Cowboy, 95 graduate, man. Much love to you, JD. George Edwards turned Dexter Copeland to a Pro Bowl and had the Vikings humming for a good minute.
Yeah, I think that you're right on what you said. I mean, I like him, you know what I mean? I like him as well, but I mean, I think that in terms of big game experience, and I think that being off of a fresh head coaching stint, and just his whole makeup and philosophy of physicality. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I think that, you know, obviously, man, you got several options that we could talk about, right? And we don't have time to talk about all of them on this particular show, but I'll tell you for sure, I think that Jack Del Rio is a guy, if you're being unbiased, that is, and that's a big if you're being unbiased and you're looking for best available opportunities to come in and help this defense get better in a hurry, and it has a certain program and a way he's going to coach and actually demand that the defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, corners play, I think that Jack Del Rio has to be one of the top 5 candidates, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say, man, being all the way honest, I think the more I think about it, the more I want a Jack Del Rio type, a Todd Bowles type. I want somebody who has experience. I'm not on the more and more I think about it, the less I'm on the wit train. I want some guys who've been in big games, been in wars, been in the trenches, been there, done that. Because we're close. We're not a building team. We're built. We just need to make adjustments. Like a lot of people saying we need to throw away everything. No, we don't have to throw away everything. Our offense was number 1 with Dak. Our defense was solid except in stopping the run and the linebackers, but the secondary got much better. So to me, we tweaking. We not blowing it up. So it's almost like bringing a stabilizer. What y'all think? Y'all got some more time? Because we got a couple.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, cool.
Let's go ahead. Let's do it.
I keep hearing this.
Let me get a quick sip though.
Yeah, go ahead. What y'all think about Buddha? Wake up. What you think about Buddha? No, he wasn't asleep. I'm messing with him. He looking at his phone. He read the comments. I'm messing with him.
Yeah.
Hey, but I knew what you was doing, man. But you look like you was asleep. I know you read the comments. Hey, but what you think about Matt Patricia?
Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You good? Or?
Yeah. I mean, when we first heard about that Mike Nolan wasn't staying, that was the number 1 name that was getting thrown out of there. So in people's minds, that was the number 1 name that we had on board. Now he seemed to have dropped with other names coming up, but when you talk about, again, a winning environment, a winning experience, you talking about somebody that had the Patriots from 2012 all the way to 2016 consistently in the top 10 defense, ranked, and got 2 Super Bowls out of that, 14 and 16. So I think somebody, when you talk about somebody who's also willing and said himself, although I run a hybrid offense, also if I have to go 4-3, I'm willing to adapt and change. So, I mean, you talk about top 3 choices, Matt Patricia has to be up there. I mean,
see what you got.
Well, I got a question for Buddha about that. Buddha, I mean, how has he done with Detroit? I mean, with his how has he done since he's left the Patriots? Let's talk about that first, and I'm gonna kick it right back to you. Then I'll jump in.
Fair.
I mean, when it comes to Detroit, I read a lot about drafting, and they just wasn't hitting on their drafts, and they kept trying. So you say the players versus the scheme. You need those players and those dogs. So if you got a guy back there and you're trying and he has the experience, if you don't get the personnel in there, which could be his fault too because he is the head coach, but you need who you really. And I think you're talking about somebody that we're not Detroit though. We're not Detroit.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm out
to me,
Matt.
Yeah, I'm out too, man. No offense. Just because of the fact that I think that he's a Belichick disciple who was covered by a good father, a good mentor, right, and a good coaching staff around him.
Everybody
right, that helped
there
him,
are defensive experts.
Right, that helped him look very, very good. I mean, he looks cool, got the pencil at the bottom of his hat and got the beard and got the belly working in the hoodie. I mean, he got the kind of look. But sometimes, man, you look like Tarzan and then you play like Jane. You know, that's a whole
That's what I'm
adage
saying.
that we had, man, coming. It looked like Tarzan, played like Jay. In terms of a productivity standpoint and having just rock solid, excellent defenses, I have not seen him produce on that level, man, and I wouldn't trust him to come in. He's not a McCarthy guy, to one of the comments that we had.
Yeah,
That's
that was a
true
good
too.
comment. Yeah.
But I don't see him as a guy that's going to be.
said
So
that.
I see. Yeah, Tavis. Thanks, Tavis. I don't see him as a guy that is going to come in here and help this defense be top flight, man. I think that, man, it's like cotton candy, man. You eat a lot of it, but it never gets you full. That's my feeling about him, and I just don't think he's a real gamer, baller type coach. I just don't see it, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
sorry.
and I would say, to your point, Buddha, some of these people we contradicting ourselves with because because you raised the point. You got to have the players to showcase what you got, too. You said the same thing, OC.
Yep.
Because he was much better when he had much better players in New England. This is the reason why I'm out on him. Because I didn't like how so many of his ex-players was happy that he got fired. Because I know it was coaches that I got benched with, and I loved them. You hear me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes they gotta go with the better guy, and it might not be you. But when you see like your best players trolling you when you got fired, that's a red flag that you was a toxic kind of coach, you know? And you was doing that with previous dogs like Slate. You know, and then the stuff that I heard he say, only coaches with massive egos say to grown men, like, I can end your career.
Ooh.
It's like, nah. Some things you never say when you're trying to keep men motivated. OC, we had coaches with those God type of complexes where they was trying to show you their power versus getting you ready to play. They was trying to show you, I got the power. One of my friends, you remember this, I'm not gonna call his name, OC, but one of our coaches, when he lost our team fully, is when one of my friends, who was a fullback, laughed at my head coach and he cut him. You remember that, OC?
Yep, that's go ahead.
He cut him for laughing. None of us ever respected him. None of us played hard. You saw the whole team deflate. And then I remember because my friend, I'm not gonna name him because it changed his life. He was a good player. And he got rid of him, kicked him off our university. And he was a 3.9 GPA student, a good guy, a dog. Didn't mess with, he stayed to himself, didn't do drugs, didn't party, but was cool. And our head coach let him go because he laughed at him. And then our head coach had the nerve to have his kids on our field playing. I wanted to go kick one of his sons like a punt. He was a baby.
Yeah, well, you know, Boss Cowboy, speaking about toxic coaches and power strong coaches, we are in the NFL, and so you got a lot of guys, man,
Got that.
that have that, right? You're
Yeah,
gonna have
God
that
complex.
element to it. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, this was the exact same head coach, won't name his name, who basically I was playing on a torn ankle, and he said something. I just looked at him. He cussed me out in front of everybody, and actually challenged me to a fight. He challenged me to a fight, said he'll take me on the other side of the field and he'll kick my behind. And I'm playing with a
He didn't
torn
say
ligament
behind,
in my
though.
ankle. Yeah, he didn't say that. I'm keeping it PG. But yeah. So you know, I mean, same guy, and I was a team captain. You know what I mean? Exact same guy. So sometimes you have these types, man, and they
show you that they not the men that they want you to be. That's why I'm out on Mike. I'm out on you, my man. Because see, what was happening is your team wasn't performing, and under pressure, you was lashing out on your players. So when the pressure on us, they call on us to be cool under pressure. I remember coming out there to 100,000 screaming fans and had to make that feel like it was practice. Had to settle in. You know what I mean, OC? You know what I mean, Buddha? Like where you have to settle
Right.
into the big moment. Like, don't think of this too big. Because if you start looking in the stands, you lose focus that, hey, this is just football. You know? So the same thing that they calling on you, they not willing to do themselves. So no, man, Mike McCarthy, you can get your pencil. And then let me tell you something. He wouldn't fit Dallas, no way. Ain't no way you gonna come to Dallas rocking a pencil in your head, man, with Steven Jones. He gonna demand professionalism, man. Get off my screen.
Oh, okay, I guess that ends that.
Get off my
Talk about
screen,
the
man.
next,
I'm
the
done with
next
it.
head coaching candidate.
So real quick, I got some more here, but I'm gonna save them. And we never even talked about Chris Richard. We can save him.
No.
We got time. We got plenty of coaches we gonna talk about before they hopefully make this decision. We go also keep stocking with strength and conditioning options. Cause just like I told y'all, didn't I say? Didn't OC we warned them, Buddha we warned them. What are they doing this offseason? What players were gonna change? What coaches were gonna change? Nobody talking about the biggest problem. Nobody.
It's not even near. Like,
Yeah, nobody even bringing it
R-
up. Strength and
RIP.
conditioning. Nobody. That's what
Right.
killed the season. Way over how many times Mike Nolan defense was built. It was all the epic injuries and nobody bringing up no options. Nobody saying anything. We got 10 or 15 options a day on defensive coordinator and defensive tackle coach and all kind of stuff. But that's the norm. And that's why I always say when I bring on these strength and conditioning guys to talk about how important they are. I say, y'all the most undervalued coaches in the building, and it's honestly stupid.
Not
I think you should
stupid.
pay your strength and conditioning guys triple. Go ahead, OC.
No, I was just mimicking what you said. You said it's stupid. So it's beyond stupid. It's stupid.
It's stupid. it's like we putting the major on the minor. The major thing that destroyed our season was injuries.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Boo.
And I mean, it's no just year. I mean, it was consecutive years where we losing big names in training camp.
Right.
You know, so this just ain't a 1 year problem.
No, it ain't no 1 year problem. So, E. Kush, I'm gonna end it on this comment because I know OC he gotta go. We already talked about it. He got something to do with his kids. But I'm with you, Eric. Eric, you've been on it lately too. Eric been preaching good gospels.
He's
I still
killing
want
it.
Marvin Lewis. And no. My boy E could say I still want Marvin Lewis, but I know it won't happen. It might happen, E. It might.
It could happen.
It could happen. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Mike McCarthy is showing a pattern. Okay. The pattern that he is showing is kind of obvious to me. The pattern that he is doing, in my opinion, is he's going with the guys that he knows. So when I look at the pattern of Mike McCarthy, you got to remember he knows very well Marvin Lewis because both of them was coaches for Pittsburgh. And Mike McCarthy got his start and Marvin Lewis was in the building. So he not dealing with a guy he doesn't know intimately.
Right.
And it's his pattern when you look at, that's why we showing this clip of all the people he's interviewing, all the people he's bringing in. It's about knowing these guys. Mike McCarthy is showing that he makes a lot of decisions based on relationships in his heart. So it's realistic, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
actually,
realistic.
he my top choice. So far, I could change. But right now, if I had to choose and I stopped all my research right now, I will pick that man. Because I think him and Mike McCarthy are perfect polar opposites. They literally, in my opinion, complete each other. Mike McCarthy has always struggled because of his defense. His offense has always been clicking. Marvin has always struggled because of his offense. His defense has been pretty consistently
good point.
clicking. You see what I'm saying?
Good.
You put both of those senior guys together, you complete the puzzle.
Yin yang. Oh,
Yin
that was
yang. Yeah, that's yin yang, bro. Hold on, let me give myself a clap. You know I got the sound. So
yeah, that was a hard hitter right
my
there.
boys booty gave me a clap. I'll give myself a clap, man. Thank you, me.
With the guy in the meme, he'd be like,
yeah. We had a guy in the meme. Yeah, appreciate that. Now, but I you know, listen, because we all studying. Buddha studied these guys. The OC been studying. I know we brought some pretty good content because we studied these guys. And I don't see how I can come out and just research these guys and not pick Marvin Lewis. I'm serious, bro. It's like, I don't see how out of all the candidates so far, it's always a freaky sleeper somewhere from the draft to coaches. We know that. But if I want to go with safe and certain and a guy that's going to get enforcers in here, Marvin got Pac-Man Jones. I gotta laugh at that, bro. Pac-Man Jones, after his career was over and made it work. He made a few more Pro Bowls after that. Yeah, and then listen, my boy Lucky made a good point and we out. I know y'all tired. I can see it in y'all face. I'm the only one crying.
No, I'm fine. But William Kill, he made a great point saying that Marvin Lewis came in here first
I was just for the
to
show
get
his
the head
comment.
coaching job, right?
Yes.
And then he lost out. So then you may have a little bit of anonymity in that he will be the second choice, and you come in here and you coach underneath the guy we picked and we didn't pick you.
Yeah.
How much of ego plays into that? That's a great comment, William.
Yeah, and Lucky made a good one too. Lucky said maybe that's why Marvin was the only other person to interview for the head coach job last year. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we seeing some of the same guys. To your point, Lucky. Like, this guy was on the list last year, which McCarthy is bringing in. So I'm narrowing it down, man. And as I narrow it down, I can really honestly see Mike McCarthy, Joe Witt as his top candidates. I think everybody else, they given a chance. But I really, really, really wholeheartedly feel that it's going to be between Joe Witt, because I do believe Mike McCarthy wholeheartedly believes in Witt. He believes in him. I promise you, if you go listen to his interviews, he's easy to pull up on YouTube. I might even put it in our description after the show. If you go to YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and follow. We go put the description in the description box, some of his interviews. So what you're gonna hear is a prepared coach in terms of philosophy. What I don't like is his experience calling defensive plays. But I will bet $1 million he prepared day and night to be a head defensive coach. Because Mike McCarthy bringing him around again. Just like to Lucky's point, they bringing him around Marvin Lewis again. But I think the person that checked all the boxes, the old man.
yeah.
We go talk about my picks on the next show, because we ain't even got time to get into all that, Boss Cowboy. we go ride and let you ride it out with old Marvin tonight.
Yeah, we gonna let you
And
ride
that's
with
cool.
old Marvin. So man, we sure appreciate y'all staying with us, man. So Buddha, why don't you tell the good old people where they can find you, my brother? Hold on real quick before you start talking. Go ahead now. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook. You know, I'm on the gram. You know, I'm everywhere. I'm in your groups. I'm there. Holla at me.
That's what's up, man. My boy Ricky Star Breeze in the house. I see you with the eyes. OC, talk to me.
Yes, yes, sir. You can find me at CB the OC on Instagram. CB the OC on Instagram.
Okay.
Check me out, message me, and we'll connect.
All right, and your boy Boss Cowboy.
Y'all hurt me, bro. Y'all beat me down.
Yeah, you was easy today, man. Next time, come harder, man. Don't be weak. All right.
Oh.
So I'm showing all my handles right now, so y'all could just follow me on all this stuff right here. We're gonna see a lot more content coming across all these different platforms, and thank y'all for the growth. Because honestly, the growth is up amazingly. Our growth is up analytics-wise 900%.
Right.
I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Our growth is up literally 900%. The analytics showed us today that our growth is up literally 900%. So that only happens from obviously y'all doing a very good job of sharing, you know, and you know, telling people about it. The word is growing. So before y'all get out here, before we get out of here, man, y'all please make sure y'all go to YouTube. We trying to grow that even more. As you can see, the goal is 8 million subscribers. And then y'all continue to do the Facebook as well. And yes, I did say 8 million. We trying to get up there, like real talk. So y'all please, you know, I know we get carried away. We start talking a lot. But one of the most important things you could always do is even after the show, just take a minute and share it. Throw it in some of your favorite groups. Send it to some people that's been asking questions about coaches, you know, and stuff like that. You know, and then lastly, you know, and just obviously, we can't continue to do what we do without you guys. Continue to show the support that you do. Y'all know who you are, who are already donated to the Boss Cowboy Sports Cash App. Because we trying to grow, and we're growing. Like 900% growth is excellent, and we're gonna obviously do much better from there. We got Buddha from the streets coming. Y'all be on the lookout for that. We got my boy E Kush coming. He already committed. Don't act shy. The OC got a whole team of killers coming. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and trust me, it's gonna be well worth it. Like it's gonna be a solid team of content providers, and we go do it together. And as you can see, we work very hard to make your voice matter. We really make it a point of the show to make sure that we try to get to your input as much as possible. We don't want to be the people that all you see us do is talk and talk and talk and talk, but we say your voice matter. Your voice matter. Your voice matter.
100%.
So man, thank y'all for following us. And y'all stay with us until the next show, because we got some real heavy heat coming. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.